Welcome back to Dave Tech, all about audiovisual and video production. This is a quick follow-up to the Rode Wireless Go 2 video I posted recently, as the new firmware has opened up new options. The current Rode Central version is 1.1.0, current firmware is 1.6.0. In my review I stated I wish I didn't have to have the transmitter connected to the receiver in order to record to the transmitter. Thankfully, this is now an option. You still need to enable this feature, but let's look at the Rode Central app for the new features on the transmitter. Previously, the options were to enable or disable recording, but this now cycles from disabled, it won't record at all, always, which means it records whenever it's on, and backup. Now, backup is a previously included option that will only record if it's connected to the receiver. The always only works in uncompressed currently, which makes sense because it can act as the only recording. Personally, I have one transmitter set to always and one as backup, the previous function. I may change this later, but I'm marking the transmitter so I can tell which one is which. It is also important to note that previously, when this transmitter was set to record, but it was not paired to receiver, it would automatically turn off. Now, when it's set to always, you need to remember to turn off the transmitter manually. Next to this is now a pad option, which will reduce the recording level. You could only choose this previously if connected to the receiver. I believe this reduces the recording by 20 decibels, but I couldn't find this on Rode's website. Also new is the ability to reduce the brightness of the LEDs on the transmitters. This, of course, is set individually for each unit. The power button has increased in functionality as well. Holding for 3 seconds as before will power it on or off, but now, in addition to having the mute either active or lock, you can add a flag to the recording from the transmitter. This makes more sense, as I tried to mark a recording before from the transmitter, but it was previously only available from the receiver. I don't see almost anything new with the receiver, but of course, there are many excellent options already available. There is one small change that shows the letters REC instead of a red dot when it's connected to the receiver and the transmitter's recording. I'm not sure why they made this change from the red dot, as the red dot's pretty standard. I'm not opposed to it, I just don't really understand it. As I stated in my review, now confirmed, the mobile app is in development and will be released at some point in the future. The Rode Central app will be getting more features such as exporting to other options, other formats. Wonder who had mentioned that in a review recently. They also are working on some audio editing functions, which will also be nice. This kit was already awesome at launch, but it solves one of the only issues I had with it. Luckily, it was the main one. Now, speaking from personal experience, I've had this system for about a month now. I've had inconsistent successes and failures with the recording function. Sometimes I would make sure that the transmitter I'm going to be using and the receiver were both off, turn them on, and if I was using it as a standalone recorder, I would make sure that the transmitter and receiver were practically right next to each other, so it definitely wasn't a range issue. But sometimes it would record, sometimes it wouldn't. It might be something I was doing wrong, I'm not sure. But since upgrading to 1.6.0, I haven't had any issues. As soon as I turn on the transmitter, with the receiver connected or not, it records every single time and there's no issues. So that's really great. It's wasn't a massive inconvenience because these, of course, are very small. But if nothing else, I kind of felt silly connecting a transmitter and receiver just to record to the transmitter. And sometimes I was going super mobile when I just had my 360 camera and a pole, and this clipped on, and I had to kind of hide the receiver somewhere because there was no place to put it on the 360 camera. So it wasn't really ideal, but now it's awesome. So hopefully we'll see some other new improvements in the future, but it's a great system. If you are still kind of trying to decide if you want to buy it or not, definitely buy it. I mean, I watched about 30 seconds of the promo video on B&H Photo and before being like, shut up, take my money. Please like this video and share, since this is still a very small channel. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can't spell Dave without AV. In my review, I wish I said it correctly. The quick follow-up, this kit was already awesome at launch. This kit was already awesome at launch, but it solves